Hello and how are you? My name is Bahid Mubarak and I welcome you to another movie of learning how to make mobile applications using Flutter. We're going to resume with our user interface development in Flutter, and today we're going to mainly look at bottom sheets. So we use bottom sheets to display data that does not need to navigate someone to another page, or we use bottom sheet even to give users to input their actions, even to input their action even when they don't want, even when we don't need to move them to another screen. So bottom sheets are the new designs that can really help us in usability of our applications. So this bottom sheet is something like this one. You see, like when I click, it comes from bottom, and the user will have ability to do some actions on it. So we have different kinds of bottom sheet, like this one, and so many. All right, so right now we're going to see how we can do most important ones. So without wasting much time, I'm going to launch our application that we always use to practice with. If it's your first time, download the application to start with in the description of this video. So you'll just put in your phone, or put in your computer, or download it, and then use that project or that code that I'll have shared with you to start, because it comes with a lot of assets that I don't need you to suffer while looking for those assets. Okay, so download that project whose link will be in the description, so you can be able to do it, to start from somewhere where I have already created for you a few things, like putting the asset for photos, and also maybe creating the models, also creating the dummy data, and you will not need to do what? You will not need to create your own. So if you want to begin, you have to begin by downloading that project. Then you'll be able to do what? To get up and running it simply. Okay, so that's it. Let's go ahead and see how we can do bottom sheets. So we're going to begin by adding on top here bottom sheets in our menu. So I'm going to begin by creating a separate folder called bottom sheets. Bottom sheets. Okay, so after creating bottom sheets, we're going to put our first file, which is going to be this one, the basic bottom sheet. So I'll come here and say new file. I'm going to call it basic bottom sheet .dat. All right. So after doing that, I'm going to come here and write stateful widget and put basic bottom sheet. All right. So after doing that, I'll remove this and then come and press Alt and Enter here, and then the data will be imported. Okay, so after doing that, let's go ahead and put here our scaffold. Okay, so I put scaffold, and then I'll go ahead and put the title, up bar, and then put up bar, and then put here maybe title, and then I'll go ahead and do what? I'll go ahead and put here bottom sheet. Okay. Okay, so after doing that, the next thing is we're going to connect the main screen with the main screen, or the main route. So I'll come here to our main menu route, and then come and duplicate what is there. An item like this, so someone should be able to click on it and be taken to the screen that we want. So I have to make sure that I keep the order. So this bottom sheet have to be in the section of the other bottom sheets here on top. Alright, so come and put here the title, bottom sheet. Alright, so after doing that, now let's go ahead and connect. So when I should click here, it should take me to the bottom sheet. You see, bottom sheet is there. Alright, so we're not going to make it so much complicated. We're going to begin with this basic one. I want when someone clicks on a floating icon, we should be able to show the bottom sheet. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here to our app bar and to our scaffold and put the floating button. So it will follow by floating action button. Okay, so it requires an on press listener. So when someone presses on it, it should be able to trigger something. Okay, so after we'll need to be maybe put the child of what? Of icon dot what? Dot plus. All right, so I'm in the wrong file. I've come to this one. Yeah. So there we go. Now someone will be able to do what? Someone will be able to click here. Okay, so now what we want when someone clicks here, we want to show the bottom sheet. Okay, we want when someone clicks here, I want to show the bottom sheet. Whoever's that I'm using Android Studio. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do that logic. Okay, so you write a separate function that shows a bottom sheet. You write totally separate function, but should be in the same class that shows this what? The bottom sheet. Okay, so this is how you show the bottom sheet. You just simply say show bottom sheet. It takes the context like this and the builder, and then inside it you can put anything that you want to do what? To display, but you should always be considerate when you're returning something in the what? In the bottom sheet. So I'll copy this function and then I'll explain everything step by step. Okay, or I'll just go ahead and explain everything step by step. We want to have something like this. Okay, we want to have something like this. So what do? We're going to put here our function. Like when someone clicks on the plus, we call the function called show bottom sheet. Okay, so this function is not there. I'll go ahead and create it. That's the method. Then after, we go ahead and run the command that really displays the bottom sheet, which is this one. Okay, it's called show bottom sheet. It's a Flutter command. Show bottom sheet. All right. Okay, so let me explain this. It is bottom sheet. You should just simply say show bottom sheet and then open bracket, then you say context, and then you put comma, and then say builder, and then you open bracket and say context builder, and then you open curly bracket, and then inside here you can return, for example, text and say my bottom sheet, like this, then put a semicolon there. So even if you return something small as that, still it will be implemented. So when I click there, you see I'm able to see my bottom sheet. There it is. But the point here is it doesn't look well organized. So let me show you how we can organize it, and you have something that really makes sense in the bottom sheet. Okay. So the first thing we're going to surround it with with the container. After surrounding it with the container, you go ahead and give it what? You go ahead and give it the background color of white. And then the padding go. So I'll come here. I'll come here and paste these things. So at least you can see there is a white board, there is a white content in the in the bottom. Okay, so you can use that space to do a lot of things that can make your application simple for the user. All right, we proceed. So our goal is to achieve something like this. So I'm going to put a wrap in that content, but I'm going to explain everything. So I'll come at the child and put wrap. Sorry. All right. So in this child, I'll come and put this content. I'm going to explain it step by step. Okay. So this is nothing but what? But content. And I've already taught you how to design what? Different kinds of content. So it's just going to be a wrap, and then it is having widgets, of course, multiple widgets. And then after multiple widgets, then you put the title, like they can see Roberts, and then you put the styling, and then you put the spacing, and then you put the other title. Yeah, something like this. So as well, you can as well design such a thing. Then you have a row in the bottom after that content, and then that row, it has two buttons. One is for closing, another one is for what? Is for opening details, something like that. So I don't see where there is like too much confusion. It's that all you need is just to understand how to do the bottom sheet here, and then you start implementing it in what? In a different project. So you see, when I do like that, we have achieved what we needed. Okay, so that's the bottom sheet. You can do a lot of things or a lot of ideas by the use of what? A bottom sheet, and make your application fast and appreciable. So we proceed. So you see, that's beautiful. We can do that. Okay, so we proceed to another what? To another kind of bottom sheet. They are all the same, but these just are ideas or creative way of how you can implement them. So you have this one called list. It is a bottom sheet, but its detail is having a kind of a list. I believe you must have seen this kind of implementation in one or many apps that you have used, I believe, because they help users to not to go to another screen but to do different items in the same screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this one and I create a file for what? A file for say a file for basic bottom sheet. I'm going to duplicate it, paste. So I'm going to call it what? I'm going to call it okay. Call it list bottom sheet. Okay. So for that delay, so after putting list bottom sheet, okay, so we're going to link this one with our main home. So I'll come to menu route and then duplicate this one. Alright, so I'll go ahead and open the list. So I have a list bottom sheet. So when you click on bottom sheet, list bottom sheet, we are going to implement now. We should show some kind of a list. So it is simple. It's just once you understand the implementation, then it's done almost. So this is our bottom sheet. So everything is the same, only that the UI. Okay, so I'll copy this one and then I'll explain the UI. So it's going to remain show bottom sheet, only that here on the return of content, I'm going to remove what I'm returning and return this. Okay, so let's go and implement that. All right, so let me explain. So this is just like the normal bottom sheet that I demonstrated, but only that its UI is different. So its UI is a wrap, or you can call it a list, and it is accepting, it is having list tile, which is having the leading and the title, and then on the top. So here on the top, it's maybe when someone clicks on it, what it should do. So you have these, okay, these kind of bottom sheet. So go ahead and create this kind of a list. All right, so it means that you can customize the bottom sheet and put anything that you want, as long as it does not mess up with this UI. You see, I'm able to achieve that. Okay, I'm able to achieve that. This is a very powerful feature. Even when you share, maybe when you share something, wrap is like a column. It's like a column. Okay, so you'll try it. So when you try to share something, maybe from your app, you may need to share a bottom sheet, so the user can first select what they want to share. So that is a bottom sheet, and it's nice. All right, so that's how we do it. Okay, so we proceed. All right, we proceed to okay. Okay, so if you want to implement such a bottom sheet, like when you click on something, you should go on top with it. It is also possible. Let me see something that is a little bit challenging. Floating is also challenging. All right, filter. All right, this one we can implement. So maybe can give it to you as a as an assignment, and then in the next lecture we can begin from there. So we're going to try to do such kind of a bottom sheet. It is just like the normal bottom sheet that we've been doing. I'll look at the screen and then take a screenshot and then try to do something like this. So in the next lecture we're able to do what? To proceed. So I can see your creativity, if you're really following, or if you're really learning, or if you can really try something like this. Yeah, and then the next lecture we'll do what? We'll go ahead and do it. All right, so we call it a day. I think we'll start from there in the next lecture. We're going to look at different user interfaces. Okay, all these, we're going to look at them. So don't get demoralized, just keep pushing, but know if you finish these things, everything will be okay for you when you're going to what? To implement. Okay, so that's it for today. Nice weekend, and we meet on Wednesday. However,